this sort of 3-week break that I've sort of had is one that I didn't choose because I went away, but it was also one that I needed because just before I went away, as much as I really just enjoy thinking and talking and sharing my feelings, my beliefs, my truths, and progression, I was starting to feel burnt out. And now that I've been away, I now realise that it's what I needed. And it's similar with today, where I've pretty much trained in the gym every day without a real rest for weeks. And I went away and I still stuck to the same principle of, if you want to eat some good food, you're going to have to work hard. So that's what I did. I trained 12 days out of 14. And the 2 days I didn't train, I did paddle, which was a sort of fun alternative. And it was also like, it was like in a rest day, you want it to be active. So I felt like I was doing something, and then obviously rewarded myself with food. And food's something I want to really cover today, because whilst I was away as well, thinking, going, what could I do as my next few videos on my return? And one thing I did, one thing I don't know if it's really healthy to do, one thing that did just sort of happen, and I then told myself, like, should I be doing this? And it was, I looked back at old pictures of me. And when I say old, I mean at the start of this year. I mean at the end of last year, on my holiday. On the holiday which was the best trip of my entire life, where I can recite almost every day of that trip, all 60 days. I've got life memories. I did some of the best things ever. I did bucket list things. And I looked back at some of them pictures, and I really was not happy with how I was looking. And I never really understood the real change that I'd made until I actually looked back and looked at photos from the best day of my life. And the best day of my life, where I was 92 kg and I did not care. And I also didn't think any other way. I didn't care, which in a way, I look at it now, it was healthy to not worry about how I was feeling, because I was not ill. I was not ill at any point. Maybe, yes, I was overweight. Maybe I was not as sort of aesthetically pleasing to how I want to be and to where I'm trying to get to now. Maybe my aesthetic goals weren't the same. But I looked at it and I really just was not happy with how I looked. And it made me reflect and go, do you know what? I am so proud of this progression that I've made in myself, in my body, in my aesthetic goals, in my strength goals, and ultimately in my mind. And one of these main changes, apart from fitness, was the food. Where on this holiday I've just been on, I indulged because I was on holiday. And why work hard all year to then not be able to enjoy myself, restrict myself? That's the whole point. Yes, we have goals. Yes, we need to stick to them. But what is the point of living if we don't let ourselves live? And yes, maybe I did put on 3.5 kg on this holiday, but it was worth it. And I'll tell you why it was worth it. I got a tan. I've come back and my strength's the same. I've come back, my motivation to lose that weight again is as high as it could be. I'm straight back on my plan because I'm committed to it. And before I went away, I had a Father's Day barbecue at my brother's house. And my nan said to me, because I turned up in this exact vest. I turned up in the vest and I said, and she said to me, she went, when are you going to stop losing weight? Because you look in great shape. And it was quite hard to explain to her that really, like, whilst it might look like I've made a lot of progress, I've barely hit the halfway point of where I want to get to. And I've got quite a lot of progressive goals where before I went away, my target was 80. I got below that. Now my new one was 75. Now I'm back at 80. Whilst I have weight goals, I do just want to sort of get to a certain weight. However, my main goal now is to get visible abs, which I will get by losing weight. It's just, instead of it having a weight goal and sort of putting myself in a different relationship with food, I'm looking at it at a more aesthetic and strength level rather than a weight level. And getting onto this sort of point of relationship with food, it's, when I look back at them photos of me on my trip, on my holiday from last year, and me in school, me in college, me in COVID, whilst there was nothing wrong, and I did have no problem or relationship with food that is any different to now. I never had a problem with food. I've never had a problem with food. But what has changed now is that I have a different perspective on eating, in terms of volume eating, in terms of density, in terms of portion control. And whilst, yes, I might have told myself, do you know what, you're not overeating, you're eating 3 meals a day, you're having a few snacks. I'm doing the same thing now. I'm having 3 meals a day. I'm finding a few snacks in and there. I'm having more 0-calorie coffee, 0-calorie sweetener, water. All I've done is I've changed out the things that were ultimately putting me in the state I was in before compared to now, where this lifestyle change is a lifestyle change, where it's not a temporary change in my life anymore. This is how I'm going to live every day, where I'm going to be committed. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to control what I eat. I'm going to watch what I eat. And I will probably weigh my food. Because as much as people go like, oh, you're not taking it too far, I've said before, I quite like stats. And when you weigh your food and control your food, it's just sort of another thing that sort of gets me going a bit, where I'm like, this is quite fun. Cutting up the veg, seeing how much it weighs, seeing what the calorie value to that gram of sweet potato is. I enjoy it. And whilst people will say, when am I going to hit the limit? When am I going to end? I'm not, because I've finally changed that lifestyle where I looked at the photos of me on holiday, and whilst I didn't want to tell myself that I was unhappy with how I looked, I'm proud of the change I've made. And I'm proud that I'm sticking to it. And whilst people say, when are you going to stop losing weight? When are you going to stop the progression you're on now? And the thing is, I'm not going to stop. Because I've been committed to sort of sticking to a diet plan for 6 months. That's not even half a year, really. It is half a year. But what I'm saying is, I've just hit the 6-month mark. And why would I give up? I've not even hit a year. And then what you get with these things where I've hit 6 months. So now I've done that, I can hit a year easy. Controlling what I eat. Indulging when I can. Making the most out of my holiday and enjoying the food. And then when I stick to this plan, it's only going to get greater, where I can do 6 months. I can do a year. I can do 2 years. I can do 5 years. I can do my whole life. And with this plan, not only am I losing weight, not only am I in control of what I eat, I'm in greater control of the stability of my mind. And because of this is the thing that's putting this pressure on me. Not even pressure. My mind is now just directing me in the way that I'm on the right road now. And I'm going to stick to it. So yeah, a lot of my videos I quite like to script because I'm not really good at just talking. But today I haven't written anything, and I am quite excited to get back into journaling for the second half of this year. And I've got an exciting trip coming up, and yeah, ultimately, hopefully I'll be here tomorrow, talking again, maybe with a script. But today, this was on my mind, and I've been able to get it off my mind, share where I'm at. I'm back from my holiday, got a nice golden brown tan, and I'm ready to kick on this second half of the year, the start of summer, and to end 2025 with a bang. And saying that is scary. End 2025, we only just started, but that's what life's all about.